Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how you can fetch data from an API using Jquery AJAX with a client-server architecture. Well, a few days back we had completed the web API, all the CRUD applications starting from get data until uh, receive and create and put and patch. So basically this is the code. Yeah, so create, edit, patch, delete and everything, update and everything. Okay, so we are going to use that API and find the value from those APIs and bind it with a client side um, application. Okay, so uh, let me give you a brief knowledge of how it's working. So how we fetch a web API using Jquery AJAX? You can call an API from a Jquery AJAX by step 1. That is, you create an API in .NET Core or in MVC. Then in step 2, call that API URL using a GET request from AJAX. Now the syntax. We create an AJAX function that's, for example, get data, and the type is get, the URL is the API URL, the content type is JSON. This data line I have crossed out because that you might use if in case you are passing a parameter to that API or to that controller action. Otherwise you don't need that. In case of success, the function is returning a response, and we have to check if there is something in the response. Then it's going to bind each response with our row values. Okay, that's the body of the table, and we are appending it with those rows and data. Okay, so let me show that in action. Now moving ahead with the action, we have this API and the client application ready, so we are going to start each of them and see how it works. So I have started running the client. It doesn't matter unless we try to fetch the data. Until then we should have the API running as well, so both the application needs to be running. And now that we have both of them came up, so I'm going to call the API from the client side. Oops, we got the data. Alright, okay, so let me show the backend. Okay guys, I forgot to show you something. Okay, now we have both of the applications running. Let me show you one fault. I'm trying to get the data but I'm not receiving it. What went wrong? Let's go ahead and check the inspect. In the console it shows me an error that there is an XML HTTP request from to the API class from the client class, and it has been blocked by course policy. So what is the course policy? This course policy is not allowing us to get the data. See, when you are using AJAX to call an API, you have to allow the course policy. So you have to type this line of codes: app.useCourse.allow any origin.allow any method.allow any header. Both sides, in both of them, okay, not just one, in both of them. Once you have that, then you start running your application and try to fetch the applications, fetch the values. It should be all good. You should be all able to fetch the data. Okay, while I'm waiting for any of the applications to come up. Okay, Swagger has come up, so the API is ready. Now let me wait for the client. The client is also ready. Let's go to the inspect if we have any errors now. I don't see any errors now. Let me try to get the data. Let's close this one. Yep, we got our data. Let's see if the yeah, HTML elements are working. Perfect. HTML elements are also working. So guys, that was all for this video. I hope you were able to understand what we went through and what changes we did. So if you were not able to follow, let me just show you what we did. Uh, the API part we had already covered. So this one just calls the API with this AJAX request, and it's trying to fetch. Okay, I haven't shown you if I had any NuGet packages. Let me show you about this program. It's running. Let me stop that. Okay, I only had these two NuGet packages installed. Though you don't need this one, but I just to be on the safe side, I download this one. Code generation.design is used for scaffolding, and diagnostic tools also comes up sometimes as a runtime error, so that's why I had this. Otherwise we don't need anything. Program.cs class doesn't have many things to write, only the course policy after the environment is development, and controller class also has nothing, just the index. Okay, nothing more than that. These three things we made changes. App settings also we are not doing anything because we didn't pass a connection string anywhere in the app string, so we are not using anything here. Okay guys, so that was all about this video. Stay tuned, stay connected until we have our next set of videos. Until then, happy coding. Thank you.